Hello and welcome to Lotus Cup Europe. We're here at Paul Ricard in the south of France supporting the Grand Prix Camion du Castellet, and with thousands of spectators expected, it's set to be a fun-filled weekend. The cars are in assembly, ready for the first of 3 races this weekend, and it's a rolling start. Ben Spaller is on pole, followed by Xavier Georges and Jason McNulty.
So here's how they line up. As Elise called on row 2, joining Jason McNulty, Thierry Verhees. Then it's the La Roche 211, pole position for the 211 Opens. David Harvey next from Anthony Fournier and Jean-Baptiste Lou. Row 5, Daniel Palmer and David McAnulty. And on row 6, it's Robin Nilsson and Christophe Lisson. Natalie Junot-Prachet on row 7 with Ian Fennick. Then it is Eric Lebour and Istvan Kirali. Kai Siedholm pole for the productions ahead of championship leader Sven Pedersen. Dave Carr and Mark Yates next up on row 10 from Dan Plant. Good to have him back. John Engelbor's next from Thomas Vazin and Jean-Pierre Junot-Prachet. Third race of the 2019 season, and we're on board with pole position man Ben Spaller. He's got Thomas Vazin, as you heard, alongside him. And on row 2, Jason McAnulty and Thierry Verhees. Thomas Vazin not taking the start in this one, the former champion having problems. Hopefully we'll be back out for race 2. In car with Anthony Fournier in the 211 Opens. You just saw, you can see from Daniel Palmer's car, Dave Harvey in the mix as well. Daniel Palmer breaks ranks, goes over the blue lines. That's either breaking ranks or track limits, but he's looking to gain a good entry down into turn 1, which looked like it was 4 wide, but they sort themselves out, and it's the defending champion Ben Spaller that leads in black from Xavier Georges in second. Third place is between Thierry Verhees and Jason McAnulty. Georges busy challenging the race leader. Georges has won here at Paul Ricard twice, Ben Spaller having won 3 times, all of those occasions last time here, and Xavier Georges taking the battle to him and inadvertently clouts the back end of the race leader, who is forced off the track, trying to get it all back together. Baller is still on track. He's lost ground. We've now got Jason McAnulty in the lead. Thierry Verhees comes through. Baller down to 4th, down to 5th, because Jean-Baptiste Lou goes through as well. He's the leading 211 Open class. Another a replay. Ah, that's Christophe Lisson. Bang! Lisson to the back end of Robin Nilsson, who seemingly is okay. David McAnulty, was there contact as the car came across? I don't know, but McAnulty certainly had to take some avoiding action. In car with Daniel Palmer, there is the lead 211 Open car in front. Remember, the Open class cars and the 211s in the same class this year. And it's Jean-Baptiste Lou that leads that. Daniel Palmer having a good run. The Swede about to try and pass the Frenchman side by side. The V6 has got power. Here's the view from Lou's car. And, well, a very physical opening few corners here for round 3. And that, coming through, is Jean-Pierre Junot-Prachet past the defending champion Sven Pedersen, who's off the circuit and is slowing. Sven Pedersen is slowing down. All of the production runners seem to be going past him. But it's Jason McAnulty out front in the gold 11. Third and second places for him at Hockenheim. So really good, strong start to the Lotus Cup Europe campaign. Ben Spaller trying to recover, and side by side with Daniel Palmer as they come. Now there's a message about Daniel Palmer on the readout there as they went across the start-finish line. And I think that might be in respect of the start and possibly a drive-through. So Daniel Palmer may well have some more work to do. Baller is down behind. He's managed to get past and this is Sven Pedersen coming into pit lane, the production class champion, championship leader. Tyre at the ready there, maybe picked up a puncture somewhere along the line, but he is into pit lane, as now also is Christophe Lissandre, second in the 211 Open category coming into this race. So Jason McAnulty the leader, Xavier Georges second. Now did that contact affect him as well? I say inadvertent, but the stewards might want to have a look at that. We're on board with Chris La Roche, second position in 211 Open at the moment, and chasing Jean-Baptiste Lou, the class leader. Thierry Verheest in third. Ben Spaller making progress back up the field with lights ablaze. Dave Harvey third in the Open class. Then it's David McAnulty, who doesn't seem the worse for wear at the moment. Chris LaRoche busy chasing. So we've got some great battles going on, all three classes. Once again, proving that there is some superb rain, not just for the lead, in the other positions as well. Jean-Baptiste Lou looking at Daniel Palmer. So Jean-Baptiste has to deal with some of the V6 cars that he's on pace with, while looking in his mirrors and trying to defend the class lead at the same time. So he really has got his handful, the Frenchman here. Daniel Palmer out front, and Daniel Palmer coming off line. It looks like he's pit bound, Daniel Palmer, so that message on the board must have been a drive-through for that start. Meanwhile, it's it does open up the track here for Jean-Baptiste Lou, because he will try and get away. I don't think maybe had the pace to. Here's Palmer serving his drive-through, which he does with good grace. Well done, Daniel. Comes back onto circuit and will now attempt to get back up the field. But the fact that Daniel went into pit lane now means that the 211 battle is slightly more free, and Jean-Baptiste Lou looked the quicker of the two. He might be able to stretch his legs a little bit. I don't think he had the pace to deal with the V6. In car with Anthony Fournier, Robin Nilsson immediately ahead of him. So Fournier fourth in the class in this race. It's the LaRoche car that leads the championship. Lissange second, Fournier third. Jean-Baptiste and Philippe Lou fourth in that class. Production's headed by Sven Pettersson as we came here from Mark Yates. The V6 championship leader Ben Spaller from John Rass and Nicola Eepson, both of them not here. Eepson title points with Jason McAnulty. Daniel Palmer recovering well. Goes past Ian Fennick after his drive-through, and that's Natalie Genoux-Praché up ahead. Natalie and Ian always seem to be very close together on track, and they've had some superb battles in our coverage, and it looks like that's continuing again. So Ian Fennick here, if he can follow Daniel Palmer, might be able to challenge for position. Natalie will be very well aware that she has the faster V6 behind her, so we'll see when Daniel can make the pass. Comes out of the slipstream, there's a gap there. Natalie has seen him, and Daniel Palmer through, recovering after his drive-through, doing a good job. Ian Fennick closing up now, and I think might be able to have a go for the place as well. Fennick to the inside line. Natalie was going to come across, looked in the mirror, saw him, giving each other racing room here. This is fine racing in the order for the 211s. Fennick trying to go through, but it's Natalie Genoux-Praché on the outside. Fennick gets the position. Natalie won't give up without a fight for sure though, and he's trying to come back. Meanwhile, further up the 211 order, Mr. Whippy on there for Jean-Baptiste Lou, who is passed. Here's the view from Jean-Baptiste's car. Wow, what a race the 211s are having. This is early doors, so absolutely superb. Long may it continue. Across the line they go. Jean-Baptiste still giving chase for the race lead. Into pit lane comes Xavier Georges. That's got to be a drive-through for the contact. We know it was inadvertent, but if there is, everyone could claim that, but if there is contact, it generally has to be paid for. And that's going to leave Jason McAnulty in a decent lead at the moment. Xavier Georges, why, he says, comes through pit lane. But again, he's taken his medicine, so well done, Xavier. Get back on track. Ben Spaller now trying to challenge for what's now second position on the inside of Thierry Verheest. Goes through. So Baller, after being dislodged from the lead, is staging a great comeback here. Jean-Baptiste Lou goes back through, passes Chris LaRoche for the lead, and LaRoche is going to go for the switchback and try and get back into the lead as well. Dave Harvey still in touch in third place in the 340. 340R Dave Harvey, and he's in third position. Ian Fennick again dicing with Natalie Genoux-Praché. These two having a superb row. What a start to our meeting here, this wonderful big truck festival these cars guessed at. Fennick down the inside line again, Natalie on the outside here as she was last time around. Loses a little bit more ground this time, but I know will come to fight back. Ian Fennick makes up the place. There is Dave Harvey in third. David McAnulty and Robin Nilsson are next up. In car with Robin, bonnet flapping a little bit out front, passes David McAnulty, who's got a problem. McAnulty is having no luck at all this year, and the number 7 car had no decent results at Hockenheim, only had one finish, had a non-classification in race 2, and deserves much better fortune than he's having so far. I suppose the upside is there are 2 more races to go, so fingers crossed for David in those 2 races if they can sort the problem out. As we ride on board with Xavier Georges starting to try and recover from his drive-through penalty. hasn't lost too much, so both he and Daniel Palmer recovering well, passes Anthony Fournier in the 211. That's no points gained, of course, because it's a car in a different class that is passed. Now, this is talking different classes, moment to reflect on the productions, and it's Jean-Pierre Genou-Prachet who started at the back of the grid. He's in the white car. Mark Yates, who should go into the championship lead here, certainly if he finishes second in class, because Sven Pedersen has retired, and Yates chasing Jean-Pierre Genou-Prachet for the class lead in the productions, who as ever give us some superb battling. Kai Cederholm in blue is third. Cederholm won 2 races here last year. Mark Yates won the middle race. The year before that, Sven Pedersen had a hat-trick here. Thomas Vazan the year before. That was our first season here at Paul Ricard. Vazan, of course, then that was his championship winning year. And Mark Yates working hard, and now goes for the inside line here of Jean-Pierre Genou-Prachet. You will have seen it. Jean-Pierre, you might remember, raced in the 211s a season or so ago. Came out last year in the productions, enjoyed it, and he's doing a full campaign by the look of it this year, which is good to see. The Frenchman chasing the Brit, but it's Mark Yates up front, looking to, obviously likes this track, having won here last year. So it's Yates, Genou-Prachet the Frenchman, and then Kai Cederholm the Swede. Xavier Georges is busy chasing Robin Nilsson, about to try and make a pass. So recovery drive here from Georges, who tries to go through, looks to the outside line. The inside is covered by the Swede at the moment, and that was something flying off Nilsson's car. Let's have a look at the replay. It was the bonnet coming up. Watch the front car. Up it goes and off. Robin Nilsson loses the bonnet, maybe from that contact earlier on in the race. Xavier Georges still trying to get past him and tries to make the move now to move up yet another position here. Robin Nilsson now without his bonnet, and through go on the inside line goes Xavier Georges, makes up another place on this recovery after, well, remember he started on the front row of the grid, but had that issue, a little bit of contact on the back end of Ben Spun. You can see how hard he's trying the back end, wanting to swap around there. And Robin Nilsson also doing a grand job. Back with the productions we go, and Jean-Pierre Genou-Prachet goes back into the lead, but on the inside line on the next corner, Mark Yates comes back in. Kai Cederholm in blue is in the mix as well. The top 3 are swapping places like nobody's business here in the production class. In car with Mark Yates once again. He looks across to the left, so do we, and we see the nose of, well, both cars coming through. Kai Cederholm's trying to come through as well, but it's Jean-Pierre Genou-Prachet who's got the run. Mark Yates holding on to second place. There is Genou-Prachet out front. Mark Yates in P2. Kai Cederholm knows he can win around here, and he's back in third place at the moment, but it's Genou-Prachet holds sway out front. Sven Pedersen is going to be watching and wondering what it could have been. A 4-car battle if he'd been out there, if he wasn't away in front. Yates still all over the back of the Frenchman. He's going to have a look down the inside line, but Genou-Prachet, they get so close. These onboard camera shots, again, Yates looks across. Cederholm's a little bit further back at the moment. They're being closed down on by some faster cars. And, well, it's still the Frenchman out front. Things, I was going to say settled, but Kai Cederholm starts to close in on Yates. You get that sort of pendulum effect to go into the corners. This the leader, though, for the 211 Opens. Jean-Baptiste Lou still ahead of Chris LaRoche. Dave Harvey is there in third place, and Harvey hasn't had the chance at the moment to get in the mix, but the more these two squabble, the more that could become a reality for Dave Harvey. But Jean-Baptiste Lou holds on at the moment. 77 car had 4th position. Oh, and slides away. He really is on the limit, and so is Chris LaRoche, who spins round. LaRoche spins away 2nd position, and that gives 2nd place to this man. We're on board with Dave Harvey. 57 car gets back on track, so Christopher LaRoche back on track. LaRoche was the class winner in race 2 at Hockenheim. We've got Daniel Palmer off track as well. He's going to recover. Daniel Palmer trying to make his way up the order. Well, what a race we've had here for an opening one of the 3. It's been vastly entertaining between all 3 classes. Just to recap, it's Jason McAnulty still out front. Ben Spaller has recovered well and he's closing down on him. Daniel Palmer with the drive-through, Xavier Georges with the drive-through penalty, and Palmer here about to Pop the move, goes through, passes Anthony Fournier in the 41 car. Anthony running in fourth position behind that battle between Jean-Baptiste Lou, Chris LaRoche and Dave Harvey. Mark Yates and Kai Cederholm's in front of Yates now. Kai Cederholm goes through. Yates down to second. Dropping back a bit now is Jean-Pierre Jeunet-Prache. Dave Carr is next up. Then this man, Jason McAnulty, starting to get into traffic. You fully expect the V6s to catch towards the tail end of the race the production runners, so he's making great progress here, Jason McAnulty. Ben Spaller, you can see lights ablaze in black behind, and it's absolutely key for Jason McAnulty to deal with the traffic as quickly as possible. So the first one of those is the Elise of Dave Carr. There's Dave Harvey battling now for the lead. Jean-Baptiste Lou still in lead position. There's Dave Harvey in black, busy challenging him. Needs to get a little bit closer than that challenge for the class lead, but wonderful to see the open class car dicing with the 211, and look at the speed of this 340R. Powers his way past the 211, bets the move into the class lead. Jean-Baptiste Lou relegated to second position. Superb racing, our third different class leader in this race for the 211 Opens. Absolutely superb. But he goes wide, and Jean-Baptiste Lou goes back through as well. Look how hard he is. The back end wants to swap around. He was so committed to getting through on the inside line on that corner. He does it. He regains the lead. He's got full control of the car at the moment. Dave Harvey still busy chasing in the 340R. Well, hats off to the organisers. The open category, the 211s, working very well, as we can see from this race here. It will change from circuit to circuit, but here at Paul Ricard, no problems at all. And Jean-Baptiste Lou is the class leader in this one. Kai Cederholm still out front in the production class. He's got a bit of breathing space now over Mark Yates. Thierry Verheest is in behind Yates, and Yates has got a bit of a problem here. Mark Yates was trying to chase and he's wrestling with the car. Something's gone awry with the machine, and that looks like the chase of the race leader is over for Mark Yates. He's coming back on track. Meanwhile, Jason McAnulty comes across the line now and onto the last lap here at Paul Ricard, still in the lead. Ben Spaller's closing him down. Mark Yates still wrestling with the car, and he's going to come into pit lane, I think. Saw the sign for pit lane. If the car's going to make it, we hope he does. He could still be a classified finisher because he's done enough laps. Jason McAnulty out front, clear circuit for him. Very welcome sight on this last lap for Jason McAnulty, whose sequence of results this year, assuming he stays in front of the chaser Ben Spaller, will be 3, 2, 1. What a countdown to a first win of the season for Jason McAnulty. I think that Ben Spaller has driven superbly well to try and get back in on his. Mark Yates did make it into pit lane. I think he will be a classified finisher, but Yates is going to be a little way down the order by my reckoning. He might still get a podium actually in the productions, but we'll have to see the final result. Here is Thierry Verheest, who is running in fourth place. A very good, third position, Thierry Verheest, so an improvement on his Hockenheim. 11th and 8th for him there, but it's Jason McAnulty up ahead of the defending champion, the Hungarian Ben Spaller, in second place, but McAnulty here looking very good for the win. Jean-Baptiste Lou about to try and pass Jean-Pierre Jeunet-Prache, who is still in the mix as well, and Jean-Baptiste Lou has a problem. Dave Harvey goes through, back into the lead. Dave Harvey's back again in the lead, passes Jeunet-Prache in the production class, and Jean-Baptiste Lou is not happy at all, you can see that, but here is the man who will be happy. It's the number 11 car. Jason McAnulty wends his way round this final lap, still in lead position. Ben Spaller chasing, closing in as the race closes down, but Jason McAnulty, I think, will have been fully aware of how far behind the defending champion was and will have managed his race for sure. He's still got a decent enough gap, and barring any problems, don't hold your breath because we've had so many in this one, but now he's very much in the closing stages of this one. Onto the main straight, it is going to be Jason McAnulty who will take the win. Are we going to see some passion on board from Jason as he crosses the line? Yes, there it is. Oh, and a shout from the car as well. He's absolutely delighted, rightly so. First win of the season for Jason McAnulty. Ben Spaller takes second place. Third position We'll go to Thierry Verheest in the 17 car. First podium of the season for Thierry. He'll be pleased with that as well, I suspect. Look at that, slightly more reserved than Jason, but it's a third place, but a great result for him nonetheless. Kai Cederholm is here in the 32. It's going to be a first class win, second podium of the year for Kai, but first win. And he's in blue. Dave Harvey is going to take the class win, the first class win for Dave Harvey in the combined class, having had a non-classified finish at Hockenheim. Dave Harvey takes the win. Our congratulations to him. He's happy with that too, rightly so. What a race we had from all of the drivers. Place swaps aplenty in 211 Open and Productions. We have place swaps as well in the B6s. Here's the result. Jason McAnulty winning from Bence Balla and Thierry Verheest. Dave Harvey winning 211 Open from Chris Laroche. Then it was Xavier Georges. Jean-Baptiste Lou completes the podium in 211 Open. Robin Nielsen and Daniel Palmer next. The top 10 completed by Anthony Fournier. Then it was Ian Fennick and Istvan Karali. Eric Libor next from production winner Kai Cederholm. Dave Carr next up from Jean-Pierre Jeunet-Prache. Second in production from Dan Plant. Natalie Jeunet-Prache next from Mark Yates. And the non-finishers, David McAnulty, Sven Pedersen, Christophe Lissandre, John Engelbors and Tamas Vazan, who'll be hope to be back out in race 2.
Jason, congratulations on winning the first race. What do you think of the new full F1 circuit?
Yes, the proper Formula 1 circuit. I know we do the shorter circuit time to time with the trucks here this weekend, but no, the full circuit is proper. So yeah, it's really good at getting on well with it.
Ben, congratulations, second overall. You had a tough start to the race.
Yes, I'm quite exhausted and disappointed, to be honest, because Xavier hit me in the back quite hard in turn 5, was it? I fell back to 6th place after that, and I managed to get back to 4th after a lap, but it did take me a few laps to put my head together and then into a place where I could drive properly fast again. But yeah, like I drove my heart out until the end of the race, and I got just close enough for it to hurt, but not close enough to do anything about winning the race.
Thierry, congratulations, third overall. You had an eventful start to the race.
Yeah, it was very nice because I had a very good start and I was almost in second position, but then Xavier Georges came closer to me, so we needed to pull off a bit. And I said, yeah, that's no good, but at the end it was better because then I could take my ideal line. And with Benz, who was touched by Xavier Georges, I was a long time in, I don't know, second or third position, and with the drive-through of Xavier Georges, so it's my best and it's the first exige, so of the 2 E4s, so I'm very, very happy.
David, congratulations. You qualified 6th overall, and in this race you've obviously won in the 211 Open class and also finished 4th overall. You couldn't have hoped for a better start to this weekend.
No, it was a very good start to the weekend, but I was helped rather because both Jean-Baptiste and Chris spun in front of me when I was 3rd, and I really couldn't catch them. I was trying and I couldn't, so they kind of gave it to me.
Kai, congratulations, winning production class. How was your race?
Oh, it's beautiful, beautiful. Got pole, fastest lap. And the win, it can't be better, you can't do more. So, it was a case of being a bit tactical. So heavy fighting in between Mark and Jean-Pierre in front of me, but I knew I had the speed to catch up them when they made a mistake, and they did. And then I was there to win. That's cool.
Dan, congratulations. Podium in your second ever Lotus Cup Europe race. How does it feel?
Elise, I'm delighted actually. It's been really great to get back out here. These circuits in Europe are just fantastic, really, really fantastic. It's great racing with a lot of other talented drivers out there. The racing's really clean. We're a little bit lucky in the end, but we'll take the podium.
The cars are in assembly, ready for the second race of the weekend, and it's a standing start. Bence Balla is on pole, followed by Xavier Georges, and yesterday's race 1 winner, Jason McNulty.
Tamas Vazan makes the start in this one, but from the back of the grid, Balla and Georges will be hoping for a cleaner opening lap. Jason McAnulty hasn't made the start, so disappointment for McAnulty after his win in race number 1. David McAnulty's out there. You can see that from Robert Nilsson's car. Thierry Verheest is lining up as well. 57 car once again in the hands of Christopher Laroche, and Jean-Baptiste Lou in his car as well. So the changeovers will be race 3 for those cars. On board with Robin Nilsson, it's very close, and major drama at the start. Daniel Palmer gets turned around, Anthony Fournier into the back. That's going to take quite a few cars out of the equation. You saw Jean-Baptiste Lou's car facing the wrong way. Sven Pettersson making a good start, trying to get on terms with race 1 winner Kai Cederholm. Dan Plant immediately up ahead of him, but the race leader is Bence Baller. Now, this is a long lap using the full GP circuit, but are we going to require a restart given the amount of cars there, or a safety car? I suspect that the marshals and rescue crews will get to work very quickly indeed, as we watch the productions having a superb squabble there. Daniel Palmer is not able to get going, so Palmer out of it. Anthony Fournier in the 41 car looks like he's got problems as well. Dave Harvey, we are going to lose. Thierry Verheest getting stuck in though, and looking down the inside line with Bence Baller getting away, and he's got a gap between himself and Xavier Georges. Eric Lebor past Nathalie Genoux-Praché. And here's the view from Natalie's car. Eric through on the inside line, makes the pass. And in behind them, the black and yellow car of Thomas Vazin making progress through the field. Thierry Verheest passes the lead 211. So we're going to see a different 211 Open winner in this one. Mark Yates is back going again, and that was Thomas Vazin flying past. So Mark Yates busy challenging the 72. Good to see Dan Plant back racing Lotus Cup Europe. As you heard, loves the European circuits, and a good podium for him in race number 1. But look at Mark Yates, as ever, working hard at the wheel to try and make up a place with Bence Baller still out front after an excellent recovery in race number 1 here to take second position, and Baller will be keen to convert pole here into another win. If he carries on like this, he'll do it. He's going to be, I think, the man that you would be brave to bet against in this one. On board with Sven Pettersson, so Sven's problems from race number 1 very firmly behind him. Kai Cederholm looking at Dan Plant, the Rion entered car, and Pedersen looking to make progress. Dave Harvey coming into pit lane, so is that going to be game over or diagnostic? I suspect it might be game over. Kai Cederholm down the inside line manages to get past Plant into second position. And Sven Pettersson in the mix as well. Jean-Pierre Genoux-Praché is there, then Dave Carr. This is Anthony Fournier in the 41. Again, a pit visit, possible retirement for Anthony Fournier, and that'll be his first of the year. It's the 4th race of the 2019 season. There's Dan Plant in the 72, now coming under pressure from Jean-Pierre Genoux-Praché. We go on board with Jean-Pierre, who is racing all the production, got early stages of the race I know, but all very close together. And again, providing some great value for money racing and very competitive racing as well on a premier venue. The venues that the class race on, absolutely superb, and Genoux-Praché makes the move. Sven Pettersson now having a go at Kai Cederholm to take second position in class. It's still Mark Yates out front, so Pettersson on a little bit of a mission here. As we said in race number 1, a former winner here at Paul Ricard, although this is the first time on the GP circuit. And talking of venues, we're at Spa next time, Assen, a return to Assen for the championship, the Grand Prix circuit at Brands Hatch in November, the Nürburgring, and we wind up at Le Mans at the end of September. Really a great calendar, and it's the envy of many championships for sure. So some good production battling going on, and Jean-Pierre Genoux-Praché really getting to grips with production class racing now, as we flick to Christopher Laroche, second in class in race number 1, and heading the class here. There's Christophe Lissandre, retirement in race number 1, so keen to get some points back on the board in this race if he can. It's his first retirement of the season. So this race settling down nicely, and the man making progress, whom we will catch up with, is Tamas Fazan. There comes David McAnulty through shot. Meanwhile, sticking with the production battle for third place, Jean-Pierre Jeunet-Praché chasing race 1 winner Kai Cederholm. Has a look on the outside line. He's going to draw level. Is he going to be able to be in a position to actually make the pass though? Closing, side by side now, so should have track position to go through. Kai Cederholm fighting him, you can see on the right hand side of the shot. Are they still side by side? Cederholm holds on to it, runs wide on the exit of the corner. Great racing between those two. Eric Libor this time, the main combatant for Nathalie Jeunet-Praché. A great race between these two. Nathalie, as we saw in race number 1, having a good dice with Ian Fennick. Good podium for Ian in the offing in this one, because he's a little bit further up the order, and Nathalie is going through on the inside line. Eric Libor is passed by Nathalie Jeunet-Praché. So that battle will no doubt continue, as the other battles do in the class right the way through the race. I mentioned Tamas Fazan making great progress, driving his socks off from the back of the grid after qualification problems, and now up with David McAnulty. David seemingly having a little bit better fortune in this one at long last, and let's see whether Tamas can make the move on him. Looks to the inside line, hard on the brakes, slingshot through on the inside line going into the chicane. Great move by Vazan, the former champion. And now we'll start to try and pull away from McAnulty. Vazan, 2016 champion, beat Sven Pettersson to the production title and was overall champion. Christophe Lissandre, 211 champion that year. Christopher Laroche in Open. Xavier Georges, the V6 champion in 2016. And Pettersson in the lead now. Mark Yates trying to get it back though, and Yates and Pettersson, two good sparring partners. Pettersson runs wide, Yates looks down the inside line. Keep your eyes open for Pettersson, who's got the momentum and grip round the outside line. The 88 car holds on to it. This looks like much better fortune here for the Swede, defending his championship title. It was Thierry Henry, you might remember, was second last year. Yates was third in the championship, Kai Cederholm fourth, and Ben Spaller, until he starts to catch up with the production runners, has clear circuit, so all good for him. Second place Xavier Georges in blue, third place Thierry Verheest on for perhaps another podium. So at the moment it's the lead car, the Evora GT4 of Ben Spaller, and then the two exiges of Xavier Georges, Thierry Verheest and Vazan closing in on Robin Nilsson now. Nilsson in fourth place, so Vazan's come right the way through from the back of the field. Absolutely mint drive from the former champion. Vazan last year in V6 Cup third behind Steve Williams and Ben Spaller, and was fourth in his opening year in V6 Cup, so looking to try and obviously move further up the order as he gains more experience in the V6s year by year. So there is Robin Nilsson, David McAnulty next up, and on board with Tamas once again, making great progress. It's been an entertaining race for him, but I'm sure he'd much rather have been at the front. At the minute it's Christopher Laroche who is hassling Robin Nilsson. Laroche in the 57 car running second, I beg your pardon, class leader in actual fact, isn't he, in the 211 open category, with Christophe Lissandre in the 92 running in second place. And Tamas makes the move on the 57 car and begins to chase Robin Nilsson to see how much further up the order he can get. It looks like a fourth position might be within his grasp. Let's have a look at Tamas's progress. So off the grid, makes a superb start, gets past Mark Yates and Dan Plant, just up ahead there Dave Carr, so drops back a little bit past the cars that are parked up, and hats off again to the race organisers for getting everything cleared off the start line. So now looks like down the inside of Dave Carr again, past Sven Pettersson, and then past Mark Yates. There is Dan Plant, who he manages to go past as well. So Plant doing well at that stage, past Nathalie Genoux-Praché. There's Eric Libor. We saw that battle unfolding earlier on in the race. Then we fast forward as Tamas continues to make more progress, goes past Ian Fennick and continues his climb up through the field. This is a little bit of a masterclass in V6 racing from the back, having sorted his problems out. There is the pass that we saw on David McAnulty, and then more work to do as he closes in on Robin Nilsson. And Robin the next target as he looks to move up from 5th position into 4th. Here's the pass though on the 57 car of Chris LaRoche, and this brings us right up to speed here, and Vazan now chasing the 4th position car of Robin Nilsson. A wonderful sequence of passes and all good clean stuff from Tamas Vazan, the former champion. Closing in on the Swede Robin Nilsson. So Robin defending that 4th place. Bonnet securely in place for this one, and Tamas piling the pressure on. Is he going to be able to? Surely it's going to be a matter of time, unless he's worn his tyres out with this incredible racing through the field. But Nilsson will be well aware that Vazan is there coming through. Let's see where he can eke out an advantage and maybe make the move through up into 4th place. It's still Ben Spaller the leader. Xavier Georges not happy, is he, at the moment? I think Tamas seems to think that everybody should cede the place to him, but it's their right to defend. Ben Spaller still the leader, Xavier Georges 2nd, Thierry Verheest is 3rd, and now into 4th place goes Tamas Vazan on the way into the chicane. Vazan through on the inside line. Welcome back to Lotus Cup Europe. The battle for the lead in the production class continues, and it's Sven Pettersson there, but Mark Yates again not giving up without a fight. Wonderful racing, and Yates all over the back of Pettersson, comes out and gets his nose in front. Will he be able to hang on to it? Pettersson's looking at that outside line there, but it's Mark Yates back into lead position in class. There is Thierry Verheest running in 3rd position. The Belgian, I think, has lost a little bit of ground now over Xavier Georges in 2nd. Xavier would be much happier with this race, not having had the drive through, the contact as well, of course, that we saw on the back end of Ben Spaller at the start of race 1. But Thierry comes down the straight and looking for another podium. These 2 podia on the bounce, 11th and 8th in the opening round of the year at Hockenheim. Through goes Kai Cederholm. So race leaders in up amongst the production car runners now, and Mark Yates still there. Here comes Ben Spaller starting to close in on the production lead battle. So usually expect this, as we said, you would fully expect the production runners to be running at the pace where the V6s will get into some production traffic. And that's what's happening now, and I think Sven Pettersson recognises that. Mark Yates will too, and the V6 gobbles them up down the straight, goes past the race leader, no problems at all for Bence, who is putting a big lead between himself and Xavier Georges in 2nd, but he really has got away. Look back, barely see Xavier Georges at the back of shot. So Sven Pettersson, now having been passed by the overall race leader, can set about Mark Yates once again and see if he can come through and reclaim the lead and a 3rd win of the season for Sven. Double winner, of course, in Germany for our opening rounds. Ben Spaller, though, continuing on his way, pole position and untroubled in the lead. Sven Pettersson working hard on finishing race number 1. And this is how you do it. This is how you win championships, bouncing back from problems, dealing with them, getting your head down and having to work hard for every place. This place here that he's going for is the race lead. Mark Yates is driving well and hugging that inside line, but look at Sven Pettersson. He's going to try and go through now. He's looking at the outside line as they come through the final corner here, and now goes for the cut back on the inside. Has he got enough speed carried through out of that last turn? The answer is yes, he has. He gets into the production class lead again. Great move by Sven Pettersson as Bence Baller goes on to the last lap, and barring any significant problems for Bence Baller here, it will be another win for the defending champion. This lap 13 of the race, and Bence the only driver to go into the 2 minutes 19 bracket in terms of fastest lap. Only one other driver's done a 2:20. That was Xavier Georges in second place, so we very much have got the fastest drivers at the front. Mark Yates still busy working hard. The production lap time's in the 2:30s, and Yates' best lap 2 minutes 32.7. Up ahead of him, Sven Pettersson 2 minutes 33. So Yates on his best lap is that bit quicker, but at the moment Pettersson in the later stages of the race, his car working well for him, and he's fending off the challenges of Mark Yates at the moment. Yates running second in production. Third in production is Jean-Pierre Jeunet-Prache, so it could be a podium for Jean-Pierre once again. Second position in race 1, third in the opening race at Hockenheim, non-finishing race 2. So the Frenchman building up some useful points in the production category. But look, this battle's far from finished, and again Mark Yates is all over the back of these two. It's Dave Carr in behind, incidentally, the lime green car, rather than being a production class runner. He's running in the open category, and Mark Yates puts the move on. Yates wants the win. We've seen Kai Cederholm win one, and Yates is going back past. They're side by side, and Sven Pettersson under massive pressure here. The Swede and the Englishman go side by side, and Yates goes back into the lead. Sven Pettersson has now just got the one lap to sort all this out, as Bence Baller is well clear. The Hungarian's going to take the overall win. He comes out of the final turn. He's just got to sprint down now to the checkered flag, and Bence is going to be delighted. Up into third gear now. Across the line, will he flick up to fourth? Yes, he does. Crosses the line in fourth gear. It's a win for Bence Baller. Second win of the season for Bence. He was ninth in the opener at Nürburgring. Second will go to the number 9 car, Xavier Georges. We saw this is the battle still for the production class, and Sven Pettersson's braving it out on the outside line there, which will convert to the inside for the next corner. The overall podium, though, is completed by Thierry Verheest, who will cross the line now. Verheest takes third place, another good podium for the Belgian, but the productions are still at it now, and down the inside goes Sven Pettersson, diving through into the lead, and he holds on to it. Sven Pettersson, what a greatly timed move that was. Pettersson back into the lead. Yates will try and fight back, but it looks like Pettersson's got it as they get onto the home straight. It was virtually a grandstand finish for the production class, and Sven Pettersson takes his first win of the meeting after a non-finish in race number 1. Mark Yates has been in a superb race. We look now for the 57 car. Chris Laroche is going to take the win in the 211 Open category. We've seen all three winners. There is Bence Baller, who takes the overall victory. Baller from Xavier Georges and Thierry Verheest. Tamas Fazam, great drive through to fourth. Robbie Nilsson fifth. David McAnulty. Chris Laroche winning 211 Open from Christophe Lissandre and Ian Fennick. Natalie Jeunet-Prache was in 10th place, just getting the better of Istvan Kurali, and Eric Liebor, her long-time battling partner in that race. Sven Pettersson winning production from Mark Yates, then Dave Carr. Jean-Pierre Jeunet-Prache third in the productions, ahead of Kai Cederholm and Dan Plant. Non-finishes for Dave Harvey, Anthony Fournier, Jean-Baptiste Lou, Daniel Palmer, Jason McAnulty and John Engelbors.
Zaf, congratulations, second overall. How do you feel?
Je suis content de renouer avec le podium. On va dire que j'ai saisi l'opportunité des absents, Jason n'étant pas sur la grille. C'est vrai que John n'est pas là ce week-end, donc voilà, c'était une bonne opportunité à saisir. Je suis bien content de faire un podium, ça fait du bien. Je vais pouvoir poser une coupe sur l'étagère. Et puis on est confiant pour la fin du week-end, ça va être sympa, c'est une super piste là de rouler sur le F1. C'était vraiment un bon moment, et puis globalement le temps s'est plutôt pas mal passé, donc non bien, on est content du week-end.
Chris, congratulations, a win in the 211 Open class. How did your race go?
Merci beaucoup. Pour moi, la course s'est super bien passée. J'ai réussi à prendre le bon wagon, on va dire, pour échapper un peu au carnage qui s'est passé en début de course sur la ligne de départ. Donc, comme je l'ai dit, j'ai pris le bon wagon, j'ai pu faire ma course, et puis j'ai fait un petit bonhomme de chemin tout seul. Donc voilà, je remercie toute l'équipe, surtout de RCC, qui m'ont fait une voiture extraordinaire et qui m'a permis de gagner la deuxième course. Voilà.
Christophe, congratulations, a podium. How did you manage to handle the start of the race?
Le départ était vraiment compliqué, mais après, bon, bah forcément, les premiers sont partis et de toute façon, ça aurait été compliqué de faire beaucoup mieux. Donc c'est un podium plus par élimination.
Ian, congratulations, a 2:11 open class podium. How was your race?
It was really great, thank you. I think we were lucky to get on the podium due to a couple of guys crashing out, but hey, we finished the race. We're making improvements all the time, so yeah, just building on each race really.
And what do you think of the Formula One circuit?
I think it's a great circuit. We need to try and get back on it next year. If you can make that happen, that'd be great.
Sven, congratulations, a win in production class. How was it fighting with the other production cars?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much. I was so happy to win today. It was a really close race with Mark, as always, I might say. We changed places, I think, 3 or 4 times, and I managed to get on top in the end. But I think I overtook him in like the second last corner before the checker flags. It was like, wow, that was really close. And I was extra happy because yesterday in the race I just made half a lap and then my wishbone thing broke. So I'm really happy to be able to stand here and have won one race at least.
Let's take a look at the highlights for you of race 3 here at Paul Ricard. In the V6 category particularly, very much a decider with the previous race winners, Jason McAnulty and Ben Spaller, going side by side in the early stages to fight it out. Who would the race go to? Ultimately, it was the black car, the number 1 of the defending champion, Ben Spaller, who got his nose in front. He went on to take the win from Jason McAnulty in second place. Third position was a longer narrative, though. Initially, third place held by Thierry Verheest. Xavier Georges was 5th in the early stages and managed to eke past the 21 car of Daniel Palmer and then close in on Verheest. His final moment for this battle, for the final podium step, coming in the midst of the production class battle too. Watch the brake lights go on the 17 car. That leaves a gap for Georges to come through for third place. Ben Spaller taking the win ahead of Jason McAnulty and Georges in third. Rob Laroche took over the 57 car in the 211 category and finished second in class despite having a spin. Christophe Lissandre and Anthony Fournier, the other main contenders, although in the early stages it was Dave Harvey who held the class lead before sadly a breakdown meant that his chances of a double victory went away. Back to that spin, there was Laroche looking up the inside line of Christophe Lissandre. As we said, he recovered for second position. Lissandre taking the honours ahead of Laroche, Anthony Fournier in third. Big drama in the productions as Dan Plant had a problem, and that held up Sven Pettersson in the early stages of the race, but the defending champion got his skates on and was soon vying for podium positions. Here, dicing with his countryman Kai Cederholm. Cederholm himself keen to grab another win. Mark Yates held the lead in the production class in the early stages, aided and abetted by the fact that the two Swedes were battling hard for second position. Cederholm, of course, wanted to have a great battle with Pedersen and win it. He could have probably done with being further down the road and dicing with Yates. But he raced hard with Sven Pedersen, this being typical of the production action we've had all weekend. Pedersen coming through, though, to grab a great double and extend his championship lead. Let's take a look at the standings as we leave Paul Ricard. Team Laroche at the head of things, 211 open category, with Ben Spaller, the V6 Cup championship leader, in second place. Sven Pedersen, production class leader, in third, jointly tied with Xavier Georges, who's second in V6 Cup. Well, that's it from Paul Ricard. Thanks for your company today. We look forward to you joining us next time when we're at Spa in Belgium.